A couple of weeks ago, I published a video covering Excel's new group by function, which many people are saying is a replacement for pivot tables, which of course it's not. There are benefits of using group by, but if you're trying to replicate all the functionality of a pivot table with nothing more than a single function, then I'm afraid to say you're going to be sadly disappointed. In this video, I cover how to combine data validation with the group by function to simulate a pivot table filter. If you want to follow along, you can download a copy of the practice file from the link in the description below. So here's my data. It's in a table called sales. In I4, I have my group by function. What the function is doing is calculating the total revenue for each flavour, together with a grand total. The filter drop-down will contain a list of locations, so the first thing I need to do is generate that list. In the real world, I probably do that on a separate sheet, but for the demo, I've done it in column M. When everything is set up, column M can be hidden, as the list doesn't actually need to be visible. This is the formula that I've used. It generates an A to Z sorted list of the values in the customer location column and removes the duplicates. I2 contains the word location, which will act as a heading for the drop-down, and this is just manually entered text. To create the filter drop-down, in J2, I'll go to Data, and then Data Validation, set Allow to List, and the source is going to be M1 #. Because unique and sort are what Microsoft called dynamic array functions, which is a relatively new type of function that was added to Excel in 2020, instead of specifying M1 to M7, I can specify just the first cell, M1, and Excel knows to include all the values generated by the formula in that cell. This way, if the list in column M grows or shrinks, I don't have to redefine the drop-down source. So I'll click OK on that. And if I click the drop down, you can see a sorted alphabetical list of locations. To connect the drop down to the group by, I need to edit the formula in I4 and add a filter argument. So I'll click on I4, click into the formula bar, click just after the 3, and I need to add 3 commas. And the reason I need to add 3 commas is because between the filter array argument, which is the one I want to define, and the field headers argument, which is the one I'm currently on, that's what the 3 is, there are 2 other arguments that I don't want to provide values for. So I'll put comma, 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 and now I'm ready to define filter array. Filter array simply adds a filter to the group by function, and in this case it's going to be where customer location equals what's in J2. So I define that as sales, which is the name of the table, open square brackets, double click on customer location, close square brackets, equals J2. So group the data in the sales table by flavour, display the totals, but only show the information where the customer location matches what's in J2, which is where the drop-down is. So I'll press enter. The reason for the error is there is nothing in J2. If I select a location from the drop-down, it displays the total revenue generated by each product for the selected location. I'll come back to the error later. As you can see though, I have a formatting problem. There are 7 flavours or products sold by this company, but it seems that none of the locations have sales for all 7 products, hence total appearing on a different row, depending on the selected location. To solve the formatting problem, I'm going to apply conditional formatting instead of normal formatting. So first of all, I'll remove the formatting from row 12. I'll just go up to the Home tab, set the fill color to no fill, and set the font color to automatic. Then I'll select I5 through to J15. And the reason I'm doing that is that gives me some extra rows in case the company has new products in the future. Then I'll create a conditional formatting rule. So on the Home tab, go up to Conditional Formatting, select New Rule. On the Mac, I need to click the Style drop-down and select Classic. There's no need to do that on Windows. Then I need to choose the type of conditional formatting, and you do this on the Mac and Windows. And in this example, it's going to be use a formula to determine which cells to format. And then the formula itself is going to be equals I5 equals total. The formatting itself is what I actually had before. So I'll click this little drop down, select customized format, go to the fill section and set the background color to green, and go to the font section and set the color to white and click OK. Because I want this formula to apply to multiple rows, I need to remove the dollar from before the 5. And what that will do is it will lock the column, but the row number will change. What this is actually going to do is apply green formatting to the cells in columns I and J between rows 5 and 15, but only on the rows where column I in that row contains the word total. So I'll click OK and let's test it out. So I'll choose Los Angeles, I'll choose Atlanta, I'll choose New York, and you can see we have a different number of products in each one. We have the total appearing on a different row, but in each case the total row is formatted as green. Before I wrap up, I'm going to fix the issue of how to clear the filter. There's no all option in the drop down like you have with a pivot table filter. Having said that, adding an all option to a drop down filter is actually the subject of next week's video. But I did come up with a workaround. I need to amend the formula in I4 to this. What this does is it combines the group by with an if function. So if J2 is empty, the group by has no filter. If J2 is not empty, then it applies a filter. So in the absence of an all option or clear button like you have on a slicer, to remove the filter, simply make J2 an empty cell. Now, I'm sure I could have simplified this formula using something like lambda or let, but the purpose here is to teach the group by function combined with a drop-down list. I don't want to cloud the issue by introducing something else. But that's it. It's not quite a pivot table filter. There are limitations. You can't select multiple items from the drop-down, and as I've just shown you, there's no way to clear the filter apart from making J2 an empty cell. So I don't think pivot tables are quite dead yet. What do you think? I hope this video helped you. If it did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel for more Excel tips and tricks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. But until then, have an excellent day.